Okay, so by the early '90s, Death Row was just the hottest thing in hip hop, but they were also getting in like all kinds of trouble. So, do you think Suge kind of brought you in because you had that connection? You could kind of buffer between Compton PD and the gangs.
It was more so because to keep guys off his butt. Because he was starting, you bring wolves around you, you're going to have wolves activity. Yeah. And so these guys were wolves. And so wolves sometimes attack wolves, right? Right. Or something that they perceive as weaker. And so I think it was at a point where those gentlemen or the word is, they were considering attacking him. And so you needed somebody to at least to be on your side as neutral. And I think that was his thinking. It wasn't so much of trying to get them out or anything because they didn't do any activities in Compton. My juice was in Compton. Mainly all this stuff was done in Beverly Hills. He rarely came to Compton. He only came to Compton for really the gig guys or to visit his parents. He didn't really have to come to Compton. His station and his office and everything was in Beverly Hills.
Okay, so you're talking about the guys. Who was trying to get him or extort him?
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, who are the guys you were talking about?
That were planning on doing anything to him?
Yeah.
The rumors were, Mob James confessed that he was one of them that was talking about it. A guy named G was considered to be one. That's who we had got information that was one of the ones. It was just the guys that was really working for it that felt like they wasn't getting their just due because he was starting to make money. He was making good money, but he wasn't making as much money as or was willing to parlay as much money as people thought he should have been. Okay. And that's why I always like what LeBron James does. I believe in helping your friends and helping each other and helping people. But you can't help everybody, unfortunately. Yes. And everybody think you can. And I say that to say, I remember LeBron James had a program when he first came out of high school and started making money. Well, he was just like, these are my 4 boys. This is who you run these 4 things by. And you just surround yourself with 4, not 20, not 30, not the whole hood. Yeah. And I think that's where Suge messed up at, as he had too many people pulling at him, where he should have isolated himself with or insulated himself with about 4 or 5 guys and be like, y'all deal with them. And they the only ones to talk to me. Y'all protect me. You 4 or 5 are good. Y'all deal with that bull crap. Instead of him being the one that wanted to always deal with the bull crap.
But at some point, you were that one guy who dealt with him, right?
Well, that was later, but that was once he was incarcerated. Okay. And so, it was kind of different things. It kind of started spinning out of control. And so I came in at the perfect time because I had the perfect excuse. Hey, the government is all on us. they watching. We gotta clean up. We gotta do this shit right. Yeah. And so that's why so it was kind of easy for me to do, where he had already had that ground roll, or that type of atmosphere going on, where it's kind of hard to cut people off once you start giving them something. And say, all right, your water cut off now, your water cut off. And you cut people water off, and they were used to getting sprayed, and they become your enemy.
Of course. That's true. So do you think did you think, like, when you came into Death Row, like, was that a little bit of a conflict of interest? Because you were coming as a police officer into a space where there was a lot of gang members, active gang members in that space.
I did. Yeah, I didn't understand it or see it at the time. I was just figuring, hey, these are just guys trying to get some protection, and when they go out and stuff, we making some money and all of that, and we're just trying to protect them, keep them out of trouble. And so I looked at it. I understand now. I see the conflict. I see and understand the situation that I put my father in, the police department in, the police chief in. I totally understand it and get it now. But back then, being a 27, 28-year-old young man, I didn't understand it. I didn't feel it because I knew what people didn't understand, and they really thought that they were disrespecting us by doing things in front of us.
Okay.
The most illegal thing that I probably saw was probably a slap and maybe some marijuana being smoked.
Okay.
All right.
Because the way they portray it, it seems like there was fighting in Death Row Records all the time in the studio. I mean,
You know, that's a little over exaggerated, but as I say, they kept stuff like that away from us. We
Yeah.
didn't really see it. You may saw the ending of an altercation, you know,
Yeah.
of people that eventually probably was hugging, cool, or sitting in the car smoking weed together hours later, you know?
yeah.
So what did your dad think of you going to work for Suge?
At the time, he just thought it was okay. He didn't have a problem with it until he realized how deep I got. I remember one time he told me there was a movie out there that was kind of popular called In Too Deep, or maybe Deep Cover or something like that. He did kind of say, you know, you done got in too deep. And you're not supposed to, or I didn't think you would get into as deep as you are. But by that time, my dad, like I always say, my dad was the type of man that was kind of a free willy or a hippie, where it was like, okay, is that what you're going to do? That's what you're going to do, but you better be smart or you better not do nothing stupid. And so he wasn't too judgmental.
Okay.
But hindsight, he always tell me now, because he was there when we met up at this location and was explaining to him what's going on, and Suge made the job offer. He always said, I wish I wouldn't have brought you to that location. He said that all the time. I wish you wouldn't have came to that location. I regret meeting him that day.
Oh.
And I had good times and all of that. I'm seeing all of my good friends and all of the guys that I did law enforcement with now retiring with 30, 35 years on the job, getting this nice retirement. I kind of wish that I would have, be a 60-year-old man with a 90% police retirement than a 60-year-old man now with only 51%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I can see that, definitely.
Yeah.
So, when you came to Death Row, did you bring other cops with you?
Yes, I did. But I lost a lot as well, especially from the ones from City of Compton,
Okay.
because we had an incident that happened at this place called the El Rey Theater. And from the El Rey Theater, they, after that incident, my police chief pulled out work permits. So there's no more. Y'all can't work for them. If y'all get caught, y'all getting fired. And so I was the only one that could. I did have an on-duty traffic accident that messed up my ankle. So I did know that I had to get out. It was trying to get out. That's why I got the 51%, what I was talking about on the medical retirement versus, a full retirement or working till full. So I did know I had to start something else because I wasn't going to be able to do law enforcement for the whole 30 or 35 years like I would have liked to. But so I did start up a private security company that was doing well. Did well for 2 or 3 years. My biggest regret is I didn't keep focusing on my business, meaning Right Way Protective Services,
Yeah.
and focus on his business when he got incarcerated in '97, and didn't, I should have just walked away then and just kept my security company going versus, working for Death Row and keeping his business afloat until he got out.
Yeah.
That might be my biggest if I could rewrite anything, that's what I would probably rewrite.
So, if you don't mind, how much money were you making at your highest for your security company?
My security company was grossing anywhere from $1.5 million to $2 million gross.
Wow.
But you know, you have all type of costs and all of that in between. But it was you know, the net was I would have been I was comfortable, but how long can you sustain that? How long do you want to keep working like that? I was working 24/7, it felt like, if not, you know, 7 days a week. And so doing that, now it was a lot of benefits. There were a lot of traveling. There was nice things I would have never done. I can say I slept in the Four Season hotel mattress. You never did that before. You need to try that. It's a different type of mattress, you know. Set a 50-yard line at the Super Bowl in Miami. You know, award shows and stuff like that. So there were definitely perks to it. But yeah, that would be the only experience. But stuff like that you only can experience and enjoy for a little time. Now I understand how, you know, being perceived as a respectable person and longevity, solid, steady money is better than quantity, fast money.
Of course, yeah.
Like you said, I mean, you know, when you're young and
Yeah.
you start seeing that money coming in and fame too. I mean, you're around all those, you know, famous people and like, yeah, it kind of, makes you make decisions maybe you wouldn't have made. Yeah.
So, you know, I wish I could turn back the hand clock, but hey, I'm still here. I always got a chance to, and who knows, maybe I wouldn't appreciate things like I do now if I didn't ever experience it. But now, almost losing family, getting sick, you know, going through my valley with COVID and all that, it makes me appreciate family, wife, and health more than I ever did. Yeah.